Well, the jersey worked last time, and I am not one to mess with things that work, so it's back. Welcome to From Center Ice. My name is Courtney, and let's talk about the Blackhawks. The impossible finally happened. The Chicago Blackhawks beat the Florida Panthers. Oh, it is so glorious. I didn't think it was going to happen at all this season, but it has, and now they must keep going. They play the Florida Panthers again tonight, so before we talk about that game, let's go over my 3 questions from the last game and talk about how that one went. Question number 1, can the Blackhawks hold a lead? Now, like I said in the last video, holding a lead would require the Blackhawks to get a lead, which has not been something that is easy to come by against the Florida Panthers, but they got a lead and they kept the lead all game. Were you as surprised as I was? And who kicked off the scoring in this game? You already know it. Mr. Brandon Hagel sent the puck over to Dominik Kubalik, who put the puck in the back of the net. I just knew that they would work well together. And Brandon Hagel was the 3rd star of the game. How cool is that? I must have summoned even more good things by wearing his jersey in the last video. Maybe wearing it for 2 in a row will summon even more good things. How about that? We can hope. But yes, they opened up the scoring. Hagel to Kubalik. It was 1-0. Near the end of the first period, Patrick Kane to Nikita Zadorov to Pius Suter, and the Blackhawks had a 2-0 lead. And they took that one into the first intermission. Fairly early in the second period, the Blackhawks got a power play. Alex DeBrincat to Patrick Kane to Carl Soderberg. The Blackhawks had a 3-0 lead, and oh my goodness, that was terrifying, because if you recall, they had another 3-0 lead against a Florida team not too long ago, and that game did not go very well. So once I saw 3-0, I was kind of holding my breath a little bit. A little over 4 minutes later, Anton Strawman scored for the Panthers, and it was 3-1. Oh no, here's the comeback, and it's all just gonna go way downhill from here, right? Thankfully not. They took that 3-1 lead into the second intermission, and in the third period, with under 5 minutes to go, Alexander Wenberg scored on the power play for the Panthers. It was 3-2. There was still so much time remaining. If you are anything like me, you were probably in a puddle of sweat and anxiety at that point, because the Panthers have been pretty much able to just score at will on the Hawks this season. But the defense locked it down. Kevin Lankinen came up with some huge saves. They closed out the game and they won 3-2 over the Florida Panthers. And in this game, they properly celebrated Patrick Kane's 1000th game by having a ceremony at home. So just forget about the really bad game that they actually had on his 1000th. This was the true one, and they won. So yes, the Blackhawks got a lead, and they held a lead. Question number 2. Can they keep the front of the net clear? Not really, but it is what it is. I guess we can hope for better tonight. Question number 3. Will the penalty kill do its job? Well, the Hawks only took 2 penalties, and Florida scored on 1 of them, so they were 50% on the penalty kill. What can you do? Florida has been very good, especially with the man advantage, and they pulled the goaltenders, so they had a 6-on-4. I'll let it slide. The Hawks finally beat the Panthers, but they cannot rest. They have to do it again. After tonight's game, the Blackhawks only have 2 more games against the Florida Panthers. Those come at the end of April, beginning of May. So it'd be nice to hand them another loss tonight, and then maybe build up some momentum after that, have a good month of April, as opposed to the very bad month of March, and then have some better efforts against the Florida teams at the end of the month. So here's my 3 questions for tonight's game. Question 1, will the goaltending hold up again? Kevin Lankinen was the #1 star of the game. He made 33 of 35 saves. He is back in net tonight, and the Blackhawks are going to have another performance like that out of him. Maybe even a better performance if they can't score 3 goals like they did last time. As I mentioned in the last video, the goaltending has been very average this month, but Kevin bounced back with a great performance in the last game, so hopefully that continues into tonight. Question 2, can they score the first goal? They did it last game. They scored the first 3 goals in the last game. While you can't expect them to do that every time, it certainly helps when your team gets the first goal of the game, because then you are not chasing the game. And with a team that has given the Hawks as many fits as the Panthers have, it's a good thing to get in front and maybe, and hopefully hold on to that lead. Question 3. Can the Blackhawks take advantage of the Panthers being without Barkov? So Barkov is probably the Panthers' best player. They did not have him in the last game. It was very noticeable because he has been a Hawk killer all year, and it appears that they are without him again tonight. It does kind of suck not facing a team at full strength, especially when you do beat them, such as in the last game. You can't celebrate too much because the guy who's killed you all year wasn't in the lineup. But points are points, wins are wins, and they have to do it again tonight. You never want to see an injury, but it does work in the Blackhawks' favor, so can they take advantage of it once again? Those are my 3 questions for tonight's game against the Florida Panthers. Do you have any questions about this game? How about observations from this season as a whole? I would love to hear them. Please leave them in the comments down below. Here's another question. Who has been the MVP of the Blackhawks so far who is not named Patrick Kane? I can't make it too easy on you. Come on now. There's a few really solid options. I'm curious to see what y'all think. If you want to hear more from me or from Center Ice, you can go to FromCenterIce.com. Keep up with the latest podcast episodes, game recaps from the Ice Hogs, previews for the Blackhawks, and a bunch of other stuff as well. If you're a social media type of person, you can follow us on all of the platforms. Those are all linked in the description. I'm on Twitter basically every game, live tweeting the game unless I am not home, but I will be home tonight. I will be on the Twitter machine talking about this game against the Panthers. All of that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Let's hope for another win tonight, and I will catch you all after this one. Bye, guys. Thank you all for watching. Please hit that subscribe button to catch more From Center Ice content. If you could, hit the like button on this video, maybe share it with a friend or two, and while you're here, check out the podcast playlist and catch up on some old episodes. We will catch y'all next time. Bye!